Hello everyone, another video with me. I'm Bougie and welcome to Trader Bot Revolution. In today's video, I want to talk about GoKuMarket, which is already the first part have been done by John. I want to do the second part. John make it clear for you about people behind it and some of its relationship with other companies and PONZI schemers. In today's video, I want to talk about its certificates, also some people behind it, and something that they cannot deny this time. This video is already made in some chapter. In the first chapter, I want to talk about GoKuMarket certificate, if it's valuable or not, where they've been registered, and some people behind this certificate. Okay, let's go for the first chapter. John has already shown you this website. Here it is, how it works in different tabs. And one of the very ridiculous part for me is when you click on it and it's AI bot plus DeFi, it's 250% a return. Yeah, when you just click on it, it's gonna be the next page. Yeah, I show you how you can start earning. But yeah, let's click on FAQ. FAQ, how does it work? Because I'm really curious to understand how it works. First, the AI bot plus DeFi is an invitation only product and with a limit supply. This means that each user has to be invited by a sponsor, another user in the referral program, in order to enable the purchase of the AI bot plus DeFi. Really? Yeah, I think in another video I talk about it. When a program is based on finding other people, invite them with your referral code, and it's based on recruitment, yeah, just run away from it. 250% for recruitment. It's biggest and most obvious sign of Ponzi scheme company. Yeah, I'm done here with this thing. Another thing is that, yeah, many of you told us that, yeah, GoKuMarket is certified. Yeah, sorry, my bad, I didn't know that they are certified. And yeah, the certification is so clear. Sorry, my bad, I didn't pay attention to that. But yeah, let's talk about it. GoKuMarket, who? It's in Estonian language. It means limited. Here is their general information. I just don't know who just qualified them, under which regulatory they are regulated. But here is their information, general information. It's a private limited company. It's their code. It's their date. This part is the most interesting part. Previous name was Mind Wallet. Keep it in your mind because I really like to talk about it. Field of operation, information and communication, capital 12,000 euro. And here is their address. Let me tell you something. This address is already located in Estonia. Imagine you want to invest your money in a country like Turkey, because you know it's really a good place for investment, especially real estate or any business. You start to invest your money in a country like Turkey. The company that you want to invest is registered and licensed by a regulatory in Armenia. One day you wake up and your money is not there anymore. Okay, you try to apply to suing this company. You will try to get in contact with the financial services or the governments of Turkey and ask for help. The first thing they're gonna tell you is that, did you even check that this company is regulated in Turkey? Then no one is in charge in the country of Turkey to tell you that, yeah, they were certified, they were regulated or not. As long as a company is not regulated in the first country, is not reliable. Here is the address. It's located in Estonia. Classification, information and communication, and their email. Yeah, info at GoKuMarket. And these two people are representatives. They're valid. His first name is an Indian name, and the other one, Gilbert Pardla. Also remember this name, Gilbert Pardla. Here is their end of validity is also termless, till the end of time, forever. So I asked you to keep in mind two names, mine valid and Gilbert. Okay, here is the name of Balwant Madhukar Charkhi. I think this name is Indian, and he is just working for this company. Is registry code and management board member. We didn't even see this name as executive board of GoKuMarket. Here is how it works. Balwant is standing outside the circle. The only connection that it has is GoKuMarket, and Gilbert is the center of the circle. Amazing. Here is Gilbert. Gilbert is a legal person. He already has registered these companies here, and all of them are valid and different dates. All I want to do also in this website and this page, remember this specific name of DAG valid. Please remember it. First thing I asked you was mine valid, right? Mine valid, Gilbert, and DAG valid here. Let's start with GoKuMarket. Also here is a report of its employees and salaries and these things. GoKuMarket employees, nice. Average salary in the first quarter was 210 euros. I think the workers are already die. Also, it just have a number of employees are 2. Wow. And the employees, the board are just these 2 people. Amazing. 210 euros. Mine valid. Let's check the previous company and what was it and how it works and what is the relation between MindValid and GoKuMarket. Here is the website that we were on a couple seconds ago, and here is number 1 companies for sale. What is inside? And companies for sale is Invest Fund 20,000 euros and MindValid 20,000 euros. The virtual currency service provided license cover. It means that you pay 20,000 euros and you buy the certificate, the license, and the license allow to issue your token, ICO, valid service, exchange service, OTC, IEO, to sell Bitcoin via bank transfer and debit credit card, to trade with utility token, crypto to crypto. Price includes newly registered private limited company with a pay in share capital of 2,500. So you see, this is the license. It doesn't even have any relation with the government of Estonia, and they just pay and buy this nonsense license. I'm done here with this certificate, and just let me show you this. When you click on it, GoKuMarket, isn't it amazing? Yes, it is. Okay. Another thing is that, I just want you to show that why it's important. When you just get here, cryptocurrency exchange regulation, you see that before on 2017, cryptocurrencies had to had registered on AML. AML is anti-money laundering. And after that, you see that after the recent tightening of AML controls, the Estonian government merged these 2 licenses into the single Estonian cryptocurrency exchange license. Meanwhile, regulatory responsibility for monitoring and supervising the sector moved to the Financial Supervising Authority. Financial Supervisory Authority. Let's see. What is it? Estonian Financial Supervision and Resolution Authority. And first I had this one, Estonian Financial Supervisory Authority Estonia. Here is the first thing you will see. As you click on it, you will get here. It means that it's important. You have to be registered here. And when you just drop the name of GoKuMarket, enter, tada, FSA, no name, no article, no event, no news, no subject. You're not even registered on FSA. Perfect. As I told you also, this company, the head office is located in Hong Kong. here is the rule of Hong Kong. Let's see if they are also registered, have any license in Hong Kong. If any company start to work in Hong Kong and it's already exchange, they have to be registered on SFC. Because on February 9, 2018, Hong Kong Securities and Futures Commission SFC alerted investors to the potential risk of dealing with the cryptocurrency exchanges and investing in initial coin offering. Okay, so let's get to the website of SFC. Here is SFC. I really like to just copy and paste it here. GoKuMarket search. You search GoKuMarket, did not match any document, no pages were found containing GoKuMarket. Make sure all the words are spelled correctly, try different keywords, try more general keywords. It's not even certified, regulated in Hong Kong. Okay, let's move to another thing. Okay, in the second chapter, I want to talk about Mr. Gilbert. Let's see who is Mr. Gilbert. Why his name is on this certificate, what are the other projects that he managed, and what is DagCoin, who is Mr. Carrie Walrus, and the relationship between Mr. Walrus, OneCoin, and DagCoin. Let's go. Let's start again here on the person I told you. We already solved this problem with Mind Wallet, and I told you that the certificate was buy with a price of 20,000 euros. Let's get to Gilbert Pardla. As you just click on his name, you will see that he's a legal person and he is working for these companies, and already some certificates are registered by his name on them. Date of birth is the same, and so he is that person. As you know, all of these people are registered with a ID code. So GP products, construction team, MTU, ST, I don't know, it's beautiful. Dag Wallet. As you just click on it, you will see that Dag Wallet is a private limited company. Registry code is this, and registration date is also 28/10/2019. So again, as you can see, his name is on this list for Dag Wallet. What is even Dag? Yeah, here is Dag. It's a crypto. It's a coin. It's a crypto DagCoin. When you just search for dagcoin.org as a DagCoin, here also you can get your wallet and send or receive DagCoin and listings. And here is their website. And also here you can download, and also you can get a free DagCoin wallet. Dag Wallet is the primary app for DagCoin. With the application, you can securely hold your Dags or send and receive coins from other users. Here is a DagCoin. Let's get to his LinkedIn. As you can see, it's his account. He's a compliance and AML officer, data protection officer, and here is the company that he has named. And not even, as you can see, no sign of a GoKuMarket on his profile. But when you get there deeper and when you get into his interests, and let's see what is his interests. Not really something interesting. Finally, sign off GoKuMarket. Okay, he has listed it on his interests. Yeah, DagCoin. Again, here is DagCoin. For now, it's clear. Yeah, he knows these things, and also, but I just want to see his activities. You see that also he likes Christian Scotland and also other posts from GoKuMarket. So that's a link. Let's get to DagCoin and see what is behind DagCoin. Here is DagCoin, the first cryptocurrency designed for using, not trading. Then what does it mean? Maybe we don't know the meaning of trading, but as I know, cryptocurrencies is just buying, selling, doing something with that, and we call it as a trade, exactly the way money is supposed to be. Okay, here it is, not much on this website. Also, the name of this guy is on the list on the certificate that related to GoKuMarket, but this video here, which is published by GoKuMarket, and here are executive team. Yeah, it's just CEO, COO, CDO, CMO, and no sign even of him. Let's search for DagCoin and see what is behind it. When you just write DagCoin here, you will see that there are some signs of, yeah, it's a good cryptocurrency, doesn't need miners, Dag wallet, this kind of things. But is DagCoin scam? Dag University and MLM review. DagCoin is the next scam from billion-dollar PONZI schemers of, yeah, interesting. DagCoin is the next scam from PONZI schemer OneCoin. Yeah, again interesting. Oman Central Bank warns on crypto risk, singles out DagCoins. Okay, it's good because a bank just warns its people. And is DagCoin a scam? Fraudulent DagCoins alert. Watch out for scammer. DagCoin is PONZI. So there are many news like that on here. Let's start with Oman Central Bank and see that, yeah, why they point out this news. The Central Bank of Oman CBO has warned citizens and a resident of the high risk of using cryptocurrencies in a statement issued through the Oman News Agency. It's fine, but here. The warning reported by the Times of Oman Tuesday specifically highlighted the risk of investing in DagCoin, a cryptocurrency that the BBC recently said in a podcast has seen an influx of promoters from accused PONZI scheme OneCoin. Here is something between DagCoin and OneCoin. Here is a person, I'm gonna talk about it. Also here on BBC, here is article about the owner of OneCoin, Ruja Ignatova. She is a crypto queen. Yeah, she told people she had invented a cryptocurrency to rival Bitcoin and persuaded them to invest billions. Then 2 years ago, she disappeared. This is the story behind OneCoin. How can we relate DagCoin and OneCoin together? Let's just, I'm gonna drop this link on the description. You can use it if you want and if you find it interesting. By the way, she disappeared, the missing crypto queen. She disappeared, and after that also inside a family. On 6 March 2019, Konstantin Ignatov was at Los Angeles International Airport waiting to fly back to Bulgaria after some OneCoin meeting in the US. Just as he was boarding his flight home, he was pounced on by FBI. Yeah, imagine. This project also is followed by FBI OneCoin. Again, here she is. Today, doors are locked, no lights visible through the windows. It was really, November 2019. When you just search for this person, you will see the guy I show you here, Carrie Walrus here. He had many pictures with this woman if you just search for them together. But I was like, yeah, maybe they are having some, I don't know, meeting together, or just, sometimes some seminars to company try to run together. But here you will see that Carrie Walrus in OneCoin Riga. Here it is. Yeah, I think it would be more interesting if I play the sound. CEO is on the roll, car Varus, One Life. And also here is the logo of OneCoin. OneCoin dropping. You can hear it. I'm gonna also drop this link on description. Yeah, here he comes. Isn't it beautiful? Here is also Dr. Ruja. Yeah, here is her picture. It's interesting. After that, he decided to move to DagCoin. And as you just, here is also news, also good news on for businessmen here, because recently top leader Gary Walrus, former global ambassador of cryptocurrency network, joined Dag University DagCoin to become CNO. Amazing. And also when you get to his Facebook, and he started to Dagit hashtags that are related to Dagit, and everywhere is Dagit, hashtag Dagit. And also he had many seminars in different countries. Let's get to other slide. DagCoin on his profile. Also, there are many news, people wrote about them, bloggers, this kind of people who are active about DagCoin, about cryptos. The bloggers start to write about it, and DagCoin, not yet another shitty coin or enchanting story of scammers. There's DagCoin scam, fraudulent DagCoin alert. And here on this video, imagine Dr. Ruja here with a logo of OneCoin. I'm gonna drop this link in my description and you will find it. But the question is, why a person like him, like Gilbert, who has connection with these people, should his name be on the certificate of GoKuMarket? That's the question. If the GoKuMarket have any answer for this question, I'd be happy to receive it. Let's move to another chapter. In third chapter, I want to talk about Mr. Christian Skoglund, who is the CMO of GoKuMarket. What was the project that he has been participating in them? What is Avalon Life and a Pura Vida and a Green Earth, also a mining dash. Let's see what happened to this company. I'm talking about Avalon Life and Mr. Christian Skoglund. Okay, let's get to third chapter. I want to talk about Mr. Christian Skoglund. Here is his LinkedIn account. As you can see, he is working for GoKuMarket for now, CMO and CBDO at GoKuMarket, and is living in Thailand. His features, his video on YouTube, and also his activities, GoKuMarket, consultant on CFO, blah blah blah, and here is Avalon Life. He was the director of Asia Pacific and a licensed partner of Avalon Life, say freelance, and I think it is as he's shown everywhere and talk about this on his profiles. I think this is the worst thing he could do in his life by being a part of this project. Let's put it aside because we're going to talk about it a little bit later. Here is his Twitter account. Again, he started join Twitter on 2014, following followers, and as you can see, many retweet about GoKuMarket. His first tweet was on May 12, 2020. After that, the first coin he published is DagCoin, and here is the guy also talk about DagCoin. Before that, all of his tweets were about Pura. As you can see, also Pura logo looks like Dash. Everything is about Pura Life, Pura Aurora, Pura Wallet. Everywhere you see the sign of Pura. Started 2018. Also, it's his Facebook. Nothing there. Let's get to his YouTube account. Here he published a video that it's about introduction about Mr. Christian crypto coiner. As you can see, also his name, his ID, which is same as here. And on this video he talk about his it's kind of CV. I talk about where he has been worked since, like, yeah, Electrolux and Minto. Let's get forward after 4 years. Avalon Life, Pura, Avalon Life, mining and innovation, DagCoin, Bitcoin, Pura. In this video, it's all about Avalon Life. He worked for them in Asia. That's it. I'm gonna also share this link with you, or you can find it on his account on YouTube. Let's see what is Pura, Avalon Life, Avalon Nation, and it's a scam. Enough is enough. This guy are a very big scammer, but I don't know how to report the police. Pura Coin, Pura Video Coin, Avalon Nation. Okay, Italy. Securities regulators suspend 2 crypto firms for alleged scam investment schemes. And when you get down, you will see that the Italian securities regulator has suspended 2 projects for allegedly offering fraudulent crypto investment scheme. When you just get down, you will see that it's both firms suspended by the CONSOP, BitSurge token and green energy certificates are allegedly scam projects from Avalon Life, a company that is not based in the European Union. Both have been banned from the offering investment for 90 days starting from December 12th. It's one of them, and also here it is. Avalon Life abandons a Canadian IPO, blames affiliates. It's here. Again, another one. Avalon Life drops Dash mining, will focus on Pura Vida. And if you just read it, you will see that Avalon Life launched just under a year ago as an altcoin MLM opportunity, and they collapse time to time. Based on the non-publicity tradable Avalon X altcoin, Avalon Life affiliates invested in the hope of flipping the altcoin for a profit. And another one, Avalon Life, Avalon Green Earth, and the next life. Avalon Life seems to be a cat with 7 lives, amazing lives. As you can see, no good news about this company. Again, Green Earth certificate founded by German MLM veterans Thomas Graf and Tom Kohler. The crypto MLM schema has reinvented itself several times since its inception in 2016. Initially, it acted as a marketer of its own Avalon X coin in 2017. The scheme switched to Dash mining with geothermal energy. Shortly afterward, the company said goodbye to Dash mining and opted for its own Pura Vida coin. In the meantime, the company has said goodbye to these two and is focusing on protecting the rainforest with so-called Green Earth certificates. Today, the Italian Financial Market Authority has warned against these certificates and banned their distribution. And this story continued forever. Avalon Life puts land ownership and blockchain, launches Green Earth Zero service with NIM. Yeah, it's for the time that it was good. And also now it's their domain, greenearthvalid.com. Buy now for almost 3,000. If you want, you can call this number and buy their domain. Here I'm done with Mr. Christian Scotland. Okay, the 4th chapter is about Adrian and Alexis, 2 people that already managed French community of GoKuMarket. What they are doing, what they know that many of you might don't know, why they share a picture of Mike and Matthias on their profile on Facebook, and really they want to bring opportunity for French people. Okay, let's see who they are. Okay, let's see who are Mr. Adrian Sepulveda and Alexis Carriol Garcia. On this account, a couple of days ago, on 12th of June, they had a meeting, Zoom meeting with Mr. Christian Crypto Coiner, or Mr. Scott Lund, better to say. They publish it on their account on a public group of GoKuMarket Francophone. And they start to talk with him, ask him some question. He answered. Also, when he was talking, he didn't even name anything about Avalon Live, Pura Wallet, Pura Coin, and these things. And he just named Electrolux, Minto, and where you want. They were very happy that they could make this meeting on Zoom and bring this opportunity for French people so they can learn more about it, and they see how perfectly this exchange is working. But let's see who are these two guys. Alexis Carriol, it's his picture, you can see it's already, it's public, it's on his account on Facebook. But when you go down through his pictures, you will see that he have a picture of Michael Matthias, Dasnet DagCoin. Also here, picture of him, Das Aliens, CEO Michael Matthias. Another picture, seems he's really a fan about this person. When you become a fan, when you let yourself publish someone's pictures time to time, it means that you know many things about them, especially on a place like Facebook that already people see what you are posting. Another thing is about this person, Adrian Sepulveda, that they both made this group. And as you just get down here, the first post is Adrian created the group of a GoKuMarket, a Francophone. You just go down, they start to share their experience about GoKuMarket, some tutorials, how you can make it, how you can use it, and also $1 billion cryptocurrency fund ready to launch. Amazing, by Mr. Alexis Carriol. Another thing is long life, the challenge, 250% back on invest. And when you just go up, you will see that yes, they are working on their community. No like, no comment, nothing under their posts. But when you go down, you will see that they are very happy about the result. It's really interesting how they made money just while they know what is behind, but they just hide it and put a blindfold on people's eyes, French community, and they try to show that they are bringing opportunity for you people. It's amazing how they make money. And when they just write it on their group, that how they made this money and how much they earn from their community. Here it is, like as you can see, wow, 217 members in 5 weeks. Thank you, gang, and RV at the peak of success. Amazing. Over $5 in 12 hours. And there are days when goals set, constancy at work, and focus on a choice. Over 5,000 earned today, and the day is not over. That's amazing how you can make money just by people. That's all I can say to these 2%, that why you really know what is going on in this company, why you are talking about it. Here is also Adrian YouTube channel. You can say hi to him on both YouTube or if you want under Facebook. Also, yeah, let me remind you a little bit about Michael Mathias. Michael Mathias is one of the Ponzi schemer. If you just drop his name, you will see that many of the news talk about him as a fraudulent manager, or he managed many fraud program, and he has many report about fraud. Like here, you can see that man snapped with Prime Minister label Ponzi scheme affiliates and denies claim. And when you just get down, you will see that a meeting last month between Prime Minister Joseph Muscat and the Chief Executive Officer of a cryptocurrency company had raised alarm bells amid a claim that a man, Michael Mathias, is a well-known affiliate of OneCoin, one of the most notorious Ponzi schemes in cryptocurrency. DagCoin, Anatomy of a Multi-Level Marketing Crypto Scam, CoinMarketCap 0. It's all about Mr. Michael Mathias. It's interesting when you see these things and these people try to save others and still have their pictures on their profile. I'm done here with it, and it would be great if I receive any message, anything from these people that I named in this video. Hope I could make it clear for you, and I'm gonna share with you the screen record of GoKuMarket, which I already asked for a permission if I can publish it or not, and they give me this permission to publish it for you. Last night on 16th of June, GoKuMarket admin just joined our chat room and asked us to edit or take down our video. And I just asked them to let us publish the second part of our video, and after that we will negotiate and talk about it. So they told us they're gonna leave a comment under our first part video, but we really don't know what happened, but YouTube didn't publish it. But for that, I asked if they let me to publish it here. So I'm gonna show you in my following video. Okay, my last word about this company is that, as you see, their headquarters is located in Hong Kong, and we had a chat with the admin of this company in our chat room, which is already available and you can get in there and find it. We asked them why they are not registered in Hong Kong. They said that, yeah, we are not trading Hong Kong money, fiat, and it's not necessary to be registered in Hong Kong. While if you read the rules, you will see that, yeah, it's necessary to be regulated in Hong Kong, and their next answer was, yeah, it's difficult. Another thing is about the name of the person on their certificate, the relationship that this person have in other scam programs. If you fire any of your workers, this person names will stay forever on the certificate. I also want to make it clear with Mr. Adrian and Alexis how much money they made from these people, and I don't know if it's gonna last long or not, but as I know, putting your feet on the shoulder of people to reach your goal not gonna last forever. I'd be happy to receive your answer from this company, GoKuMarket, also any of these people that I named in this video. Another thing about this company is that last night, 16th of June, we had a conversation with the admin of this company in our chat room. It's available, I told you earlier. They told us that they're gonna leave a comment on our first part video, but we really don't know what happened because they said that they tried several times, but it's not available on our comments. So I asked for permission. I asked it in chat room in front of public eyes, and because, yeah, really we are not looking for trouble. I'm gonna publish it here so you can read it, and you can take your last decision by yourself. We are waiting for you in our chat room. It would be great to have you there. We talk about many things business, marketing, and you can also ask us about different scam companies. Thank you for your time. I am PONZI, Trader Bot Revolution. Have a good time. Bye.